Hello, everybody. Welcome to this installment of Things People Say. Now, in the off chance that you were saying to yourself earlier that you'd really like to see a guy who's wearing a five-panel flatty, rocking a covert fish t-shirt, and who has a history of displaying various woke-like tendencies, ramble on about a saying, well, then you are in luck, because that's what I'm going to do tonight. So today's saying is worth your salt. Worth your salt. It means competent. You're good at your job, which is what competent means. You're up to snuff, you're up to code, you earn your keep. I don't really like to say it too much. It's not really my style, but there's a lot of history behind it. And it also sheds light on a very fundamental friend of ours that we all kind of take for granted, and that is salt. These little tiny minerals. They're delicious. We sprinkle them on food and then forget about it forever. But salt's absolutely paramount to our survival. We couldn't physically survive without it. It's required. Our bodies can't function without it. Now, for most of the time that humans have been alive on the planet, we've been hunters and gatherers overwhelmingly most of the time. So we didn't need salt from any type of external source because we were getting plenty of it from just the meat from the animals that we were hunting. But then the agricultural revolution happened and civilizations start popping up everywhere. And all of a sudden you have a surplus of everything. You got more food than you can eat, more livestock than you can eat. You got to keep that shit fresh. And how you kept it fresh was with salt. Before refrigeration, that was the only way to do it. So salt was incredibly valuable. It was the most valuable thing on the planet, more valuable than gold. It was also a huge status symbol, a symbol of power. If you had access to salt, or better yet, control of salt, that meant that you could provision something of utmost importance to your people, allowing them to stay alive, therefore legitimizing your mandate to rule. Now, further, it meant that you could expand your territory because you can't send an army somewhere if you can't feed them. You can't feed them if you can't keep the food preserved. You can't keep the food preserved if you can't keep it fresh. Now, there's another very interesting effect salt's had on history, and that's because it became one of the first widely traded items. It was flying everywhere from all parts of the planet because everybody needed it. Now, trade is, I think, the strongest, most powerful crucible to the advancement of civilization that there's ever been, not because of the exchange of goods, but the exchange of ideas that comes with it. You got people trading things from different places, meeting each other, talking things over, and you got like all ideas being exchanged and shared. Religion, philosophy, mathematics, science, anything that humans could come up with in the 3 pounds of flesh we have between our ears that we affectionately call the world. So, because salt made trade more needed, it really propagated the advancement of civilization. Now, I'll let you decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is true. And down the road, as we advanced, we discovered some very large, massive, really salt deposits. I'm talking like dried up ancient oceans salt deposits. And we also got better at extracting it, maybe because of those exchange of ideas floating around. See, history, it's such a self-perpetuating thing. People have always said that history repeats itself. I don't think so. I think history perpetuates itself. As I drink from a perpetual. All right, sidebar concluded. Where was I there? Oh yeah, so we found more of it. We got better at getting it. It became less scarce. So that kind of decreased the disparity, and it made it less of a power symbol and a status symbol, because if everyone has more access to it, it's more available, not as valuable. It's one less thing the powerful could lord over the not powerful. So knowledge has often been a deadly weapon in the hands of avarice and greed, but in this case it worked out for the common folk. But it did nothing to diminish its importance. So for a long time, for all time, even today, you require a certain quantity of salt to keep you alive. Now we require less salt to keep us alive because we all have refrigeration, or refrigeration is a thing. But before it was a thing, you needed way more salt to keep you alive than you would need now. So we all want to be productive members of society. We all want to be worth the resources to keep us alive. We all want to be worth our salt. So with that, I just hope everybody's staying safe, staying sane, trying to find the good in this, because there is. I know there's varying degrees. We're all going through the ringer right now. We're all going through something, and it goes from majorly annoying to pretty fucking tough to absolutely goddamn tragic. But who knows? Maybe this will be a great equalizer. Maybe this will be a galvanizing moment for us. And with that, in that spirit, stay safe, stay home, and whatever you do, take care of your shoes.